road ahead. Okay, here we are. This is the last chapter, so let's see what we can do. The summer came to an end, and Dan faced a difficult decision. Does he want to stay with Linda, or does he want to keep moving away? Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan, after additional consideration, I'd like to augment my recommendation. I believe that the best course of action for Tommy's development will be continued tutoring throughout the school year. It will be important to coordinate with his teachers and make sure the lessons are aligned. As before, encouragement from both of you is a critical component. Mr. Kaplan, I have observed that Tommy looks to you for particular validation, which I believe comes from the connection he's made from your profession. If at all possible, you should be part of his tutoring, although Mrs. Kaplan is more than capable of aiding him as well. I hope I haven't overstepped my bounds by contacting you, but Tommy is a bright boy, and I think with the proper support, he can not only catch up, but excel. I understand that you will be leaving town shortly, but please don't hesitate to contact me by phone during the school year if I can be of any help. Sincerely, Dr. Donald Sandwells. That doesn't sound good.
Barb, by the time you get this, we'll be on our way home, so don't write me back here. It's hard to believe this summer's almost over. So much has happened. The show, getting used to life up here, painting more than I have in years, losing Grandma Jo, figuring out where Dan and I are. Part of me doesn't want to leave, but I know it's time. They say you can't go home again. I think I know what that means now. I don't have it in me to explain everything here, but things will never be the same. I don't even know what home I'm going back to. The only thing I do know is that I'm ready to start painting again. For real, like I did before Tommy. I'm scared and excited and nervous all at the same time. I just wish I knew how we were going to make it work. I hope this finds you well. Yours, Linda.
God, this is gonna end with like a divorce, isn't it? Tommy's getting ready to go back to school with all of his asshole friends who make fun of him. Mr. Kaplan, we have reached a decision and are pleased to offer you a position of Assistant Professor of Literature. We have had many applicants for the position, and after careful review, we feel your history with the university and your status as a published author will give you a unique connection to our students. We apologize for the lateness of the decision, but administrative adjustments delayed our annual budget review, and the position was only recently approved for hire. Professor Strode will handle your course load until September 21st, at which point you will take over the classes. We will provide temporary housing for you during this speedy transition, but need your answer as soon as possible. Your offer letter is enclosed. Please sign it and return it at your earliest convenience. Thomas Castle, Literature Department Chair, Hardesty University. Okay. I just realized if that's actually a real place, I must have just insulted, insulted everyone who go to Hardesty. I'm gonna look that up to figure out if that's a real place, because if it is, I dearly apologize. All right, Danny boy, what's in your name? What's in your head?
How long's the drive?
2 hours. We'd have to move. I think I smoothed things over, and honestly, the new deal's working out pretty well. It's so easy to get into a habit either way, and you can get so used to hangovers that you stop noticing them.
Well, I made a wrong decision.
And you wonder why you'd ever drink again.
Great.
But a few nights a week it really does help to pour a few.
After doing so well in the last chapter, we already have a total meltdown on one thing. And I don't know what's going to end up happening, but I can tell it's probably not going to be very good.
Paul, there were days when I thought this moment would never come. When I finish writing this, I'm going to pack everything up and drop the manuscript in the mail. My palms are sweating just thinking about letting it go. I had no idea how hard it would be to finish this one, It took everything I had, and it's hard to look back over the summer without laughing.
That's one way to look
at
at
it.
it.
Away from everything and just focus on the book. But you can't get away from yourself. Life doesn't give a damn about geography. I don't know when you'll get this, or where we'll be when you do, or what you'll think. I know what I think, but objectivity left the building months ago. Some days I think this is the one. Other days I have a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach that says my career is over. All I can do is drop this in the mail and hope. Here goes.
Wow. So this essentially... Yeah, so this essentially could pretty much... This essentially could be pretty much the end of...
This could be it. An associate professorship at Hardesty? It's entry level, sure, but everyone has to start somewhere, and it's the perfect situation for writing.
His dream
The
to be a
sabbatical
writer
program alone
altogether
makes the job
if
worth
this is
it.
what it is.
And the thought of actually working with Professor May? Wait, I guess I'd be calling him Philip now. That'll take some getting used to. But moving's a big step. I can't imagine a new school with new kids would be easy for Tommy.
It's okay, Tommy. You can get rid of your asshole friends who like to throw things at you.
Professorships on the corner. This isn't the kind of offer you pass up without a very good reason. But I might have 2 good reasons. Tried to sleep on it last night. What a joke. You have to be able to sleep for that to work.
Anything else in here? Nope.
Oh. Look! Told you I'd find you. I told you I'd find you. Hey, come back.
Oh, fuck. Oh, phew. Almost. Almost. Almost.
I'm gonna get you.
No, you won't. Well, at least the relationship between his father seems to be good. Unless he's still drawing that same picture.
I'm gonna find you.
No, you won't. No, you won't. Yep, it's a good thing I don't land on them when I come out of the lights.
You'd make new ones, buddy.
What about my friends?
I don't know why I keep calling his friends assholes. It's kind of funny for me. Just like, your friends are dicks. Let's see, has this picture improved? Oh my god, yes! Yes, I'm so happy. Finally, he's got a smiling dad picture, so at least his relationship is good enough that we could probably let him go. I showed my friend my new backpack at school. There's Linda. Better for Tommy, too. Oh, I just realized what she's been painting this whole time.
Tommy's asleep now, and I just tried for the last time to talk Dan into taking better care of himself, but he didn't listen. He went on about how he was still young, about how he just didn't have the time for a hobby like jogging, as if caring about your health is a hobby.
Whatever.
It's so frustrating, but you can't make people do something if they don't want to. I just hope he has a change of heart someday and realizes that he won't be young forever. You can't take good health for granted.
Just like kind of the teaching job. Sometimes...
You can say it. If I got a
I
real
could
job.
even go full-time if...
You can say it. If I got a real job.
Oh. So she wants him to take the thing? Linda, I'm pleased to meet you. Well, by letter anyway. I'm surprised we never met, considering how small the art community is, but from your letter it sounds like you may not have been as active as you'd liked for a few years. Regardless, I'm very excited to tell you that a little more about your work here. At a high level, the program is simple. We're a collective artists who... We're a collective of artists? That doesn't sound right. Okay, maybe it is. I'll have to check the grammar on that because that looks weird. Who use our work for the betterment of our city. We host fundraiser galleries, donate our work to charity auctions, and teach art classes. We offer a paid and unpaid courses, and all proceeds of the paid courses go to local charities, usually the food bank. Our free courses are a part of Pioneer program and we recently started, where we provide a safe place for our victims of violence, members of our local AA chapter, and even parolees trying to get back up on their feet. Oh, this is perfect. The program is in its early stages, and we'll be very pleased with the results. It's a very exciting time. Anyway, you'll find more details enclosed in the information packet. I'd love to talk to you more about joining in person and when you return to Laurenton. Rachel Pittman, founder, Art for All. Send my painting for the full-time application. Well, I think this time, this one sounds like it probably would be best to go with Dan's outcome. Have him get at least a full-time job, so then that way, you know, even if the book doesn't work out, he has something to fall back on. It will mean that they have to move, but oh. 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 Oh, God. Crossroads of life, people. What do I do? Oh, God. Do I have enough to keep all of my family loving me so I can do this? If Linda works, then she's the breadwinner, and at least then there's at least a stability there, and then Dan can focus full time on writing. But if this happens, then at least Dan will. I don't know. I don't know. The fact that there's no compromises for this chapter makes me hate this. Second painting for the full-time application, or give Dan a stable job. Do I give Linda a stable job, or do I give Dan a stable job? Because sadly, I think Tommy's kind of boned. So unfortunately, Tommy's kind of screwed in this. I don't know if I can give him what he wants, because sadly right now it doesn't seem like it's working the way that it is for Dan and Linda. So I think one of them needs to have a stable job, but I just don't know who. I really don't know who. Well, Dan's a published author, so maybe then he can at least focus on the book, and then if his career ends, then we'll just... You know what? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Select the canvas. Alright, we'll give Linda a stable job, and we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I didn't fuck up too much. Hey, and then maybe this is all for the better. They'll move into a new place. Linda gets at least a little shot at something. Dan's already a published author, so he could probably, make a bet. Okay, I gotta stop rationalizing about this. Dan realized that supporting his wife didn't mean completely giving up on his writing career, so he declined the professorship offer and started looking for a part-time job. Linda joined Art for Art full-time, where she blossomed as an artist. After a few months, she started her own workshop for recovering alcoholics, and she knew she found her calling. Oh, that's wonderful. Tommy was happy to see his friends on the first day of school, and although his schoolwork was difficult, he was glad he hadn't he hadn't had to move. The stability of going to the same school was good for him, and his mother explained how hard it was for his father to turn down a new job. In his own way, Tommy understood. Oh, holy shit. There was like a compromise in here that we didn't see. Now, finally, Dan. How did the book turn out? Dan could barely get the words out when he called Hardesty to decline the offer. He knew that they wouldn't care about the reasons, but he turned down a job, full knowledge that he might never receive an offer again. He would have to keep clawing his way forward, praying on the next advance would come, his career dependent on nothing but the quality of his work. Well, at least you can focus on it now. You know, that's what you always wanted, wasn't it? And that's how the Kaplan summer on the House Cliffs came to the end. It was much more than just a single season on the coast. Dan's choices there would come to define the rest of his life. Alright, let's see what happened. How'd the book turn out? Dan sent his final draft to Groverfield with a knot in his stomach. He knew it wasn't very good and the readers agreed. It sold poorly and he published only one more book after that. It came and went without anyone much noticing, and he looked back in his life and thought that was a good summary of his career too. Fuck me! When they left the house, Dan and Linda's love was deeper than it had ever been. They spent the rest of their lives on an endless honeymoon, traveling, embracing life in a way that few couples do. They grew old together and secure, deep in love that carried them through whatever life handed them. Well, I guess that's good. And by summer's end, Tommy was a new child. He returned to school full of joy and became one of the most popular kids in his class. Though unlike most of the cool kids, he remained friendly and grounded. By high school, he was beginning national attention in his drawing ability. After going on one of the most prestigious art schools in America, he became an award-winning graphic novelist, beloved by his fans, friends, and family alike. Oh, this is great. So the only one who it didn't work out for was Dan. Dan would look back on that summer from time to time and wonder why he had made the choices he had. He never quite shook the feeling that the voice in his head had been more than just a voice. In quiet moments, he ever imagined that the character has been someone else's novel. At times, he was almost sure of it. Dude, write a story about this! Wow. This is a fantastic story-driven game, and honestly, I feel like if you guys... God, this is like an indie movie right now. This is like literally ending like an indie movie. Yeah, just write like a choose your own adventure book, Dan. But man, this is such a wow story. It is too bad though that I couldn't get Dan's career going, but at least, you know, his family like, you know, lives better, like I guess maybe in a way took off more than he did. And it's like, is that, you know, maybe that's like the thing that you never dreamed of having. It's kind of like that movie Greenberg, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, of how his friend, the one friend who kind of stood by him this entire time, you know, he's trying to relive kind of his days before college before realizing that he's too old for that. And then it's like his friend who has a whole family going through a separation, finally, like at the very end, he realizes that this is something that he really does want. So maybe it is better for everyone. Maybe it was better for everyone in the long run to kind of go against the novel. But a part of me hopes that I could have worked on the novel a little bit better, you know, like I could have made the novel grander or something, and like, you know, something for that, you know, would be able to take off. But, you know, I guess you would just have to play the game and see for yourself. But honestly, I really recommend this game. It is a fantastic game. It's deep. It makes you really have the dilemma, like really kind of face the dilemmas of life in general, and just kind of think about, you know, how everything goes, what you can do to make your mind better in some cases or some other ways. I I might play the game again myself, just by myself, just to see the kind of different endings that I can get, because I can definitely tell that this game really does have several different endings, but I kind of wished that they did go into detail about what exactly I am, but you know what? Maybe I'm just a muse. I'm a ghost. I'm like a ghost story in that David Lowery movie, if anybody saw that when it was still playing, but yeah. Man. I love games that can do this, though, that can suck you right into this whole story, even though, you know, it's a very it's a very what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's a very simplistic game, so it's like you're not quite, you know, like going out shooting aliens or whatever. You're actually just here in like this confined space, and you just help people with their lives, and you just need to figure out what it is that people do. Honestly, there's like a whole there's like you could actually that's a book that Dan could entirely write, is like a collection of short stories about this muse here that lives in a house who tries to help out people by going throughout the rooms or whatever, and just like the various people who rent the summer house, you know. He, like, the muse can go into their minds, see everything. I don't know. But man, I mean, it's just great that everything worked out for his family. Though it is one of those I would have liked the book to have been a success too, but maybe I didn't give enough thought to trying to get Dan for, you know, enough of the things that happen. So we'll just have to see what happens next. So, I don't know what. I think maybe I'll be continuing. I'll be continuing Undertale after this, but maybe I'll find another game that I might just want to boot up and see what it's like. So, yeah. But seriously, this is one of those really interesting story-driven games, and so if you ever get a chance to play it, what options did you pick, or what way did you go? Did you screw up your family? Did you, save everyone? Did you, does it end with a hatchet murder? I don't know, but maybe it's like you guys should play it and see what decisions that you want to go through. So, I will see you guys next time.